Rain lashes against the windows of the old mansion. Lightning tears through the night sky. Alex stands in his grandfather's dusty study, a room he last saw 10 years ago. He's 28 years old, holds a genetics degree from Cambridge, defended a dissertation on longevity genes, but right now, all of it seems meaningless. His grandfather died yesterday at the age of 102, suddenly, in his sleep, without illness. The notary handed him an envelope with a single phrase: "Open the safe. The code is your birth date." The safe is hidden behind a portrait of his great-grandfather. Alex punches in the numbers with trembling fingers. The lock clicks. Inside, an ancient scroll tied with a leather strap, and a letter. "You're the only one who will understand. This is a map to the truth I've been hunted for these past 50 years. 33 myths about health and longevity control the world. I destroyed them all through my own life, lived 102 years. Now it's your turn. But beware, truth awakens a curse. Each debunked myth attacks body and mind. Survive, become free, die, remain a slave to lies." Alex unrolls the parchment. Letters emerge in golden ink, a list numbered from 1 to 33. The first myth is marked with a red cross. Myth 1. 8 glasses of water a day is the mandatory standard for health and longevity. Below the text, his grandfather's note. Quote, 2. Alex blinks, unable to believe his eyes. Every doctor preaches 8 glasses. The internet is full of articles. Fitness trainers demand people carry bottles everywhere. He himself drinks 3 liters daily, considering it healthy. A carafe of water sits on his grandfather's desk. Alex pours a glass, takes a sip, and the world explodes. The room swims, walls bend, shadows crawl from corners. A figure in a black cloak materializes at the window. "Drink more," hisses a voice from the void. "Water will cleanse, save, extend life." Alex falls to his knees. The glass shatters. Thirst pierces his body with unbearable pain, as if every cell dried out instantly. He crawls toward the carafe, but the scroll on the desk bursts into flames. Letters tear into the air. The myth's curse is activated. Choose, believe the lie, or endure the truth. Heart pounding, breath tearing. The hallucination is real. The shadow reaches for his throat. Alex grabs the scroll, presses it to his chest. The parchment's warmth spreads through his body. Thirst retreats. The shadow dissolves with a howl. First myth passed, but this is only the beginning. Lightning strikes the window. Silhouettes flash behind the glass. Someone is watching the house. Grandfather warned about pursuers. The scroll turns itself. The second myth appears in green ink. Alex rises on shaking legs. 32 myths ahead. The night has just begun. Silhouettes beyond the window move closer. 3 figures in white masks cross the mansion's courtyard. Alex kills the light, presses against the wall. Who are they? How did they know he's here? The scroll in his hands pulses with heat. The second myth burns on the parchment demandingly. Myth 2. Coffee shortens life, destroys the heart and nervous system. Quote. Alex reads in a whisper. Quote. 7. Alex's head splits with instant pain. Migraine stabs into his temples. The hallucination crashes in waves. Coffee beans sprout from the floor. Vines wrap around his legs, pull him down. A voice whispers, "Give up caffeine. Save your heart." But Alex remembers his grandfather's words. He grabs a Turkish coffee pot from the shelf, pours in ground coffee with trembling hands, adds water, puts it on the gas. The aroma fills the room. The vines blacken, crumble to ash. The first sip of scalding espresso, an explosion of clarity. The migraine evaporates. Second myth broken. But the window glass shatters. A smoke grenade flies into the room. Grey fog fills the study. Alex coughs. Tears flow. Masks burst through the door, carrying strange devices. Hydration meters. Quote 9. Roars 1 in a mechanical voice. Quote 10. Alex grabs the scroll, dives under the desk, crawls out the other side, runs to the kitchen. There's a back door leading to the garden. The masks pursue, their steps thunder. He bursts out into the rain, wet grass slippery, falls, gets up. Ahead is a fence, beyond it the neighbor's house, abandoned for 20 years. Alex climbs over, tears his jacket on nails, lands in weeds. The masks stop at the fence, hesitate to climb. Quote 11. One whispers. Quote 12. They retreat, but Alex knows they'll return with reinforcements. He crawls through a broken window of the abandoned house, darkness and mold inside. The scroll glows softly, illuminating the path. The third myth already appears on the next page. Myth 3. Sugar is absolute poison, killing faster than any disease. Fanatical fitness industry lie, demonizing a natural need, Alex reads with trembling lips. Natural sugar from fruits, honey, berries feeds the brain and muscles. The problem is refined sugar from factories, soda by the liter, desserts by the kilogram. Moderation, not elimination. I ate honey and fruits daily. 102 years without diabetes. A spoonful of sugar in tea is not a killer. Alex's body seizes with convulsions. Muscles fail. Hypoglycemia. The brain demands glucose. Hallucination. The floor transforms into quicksand of sugar crystals, sucks him into the waste. Voice. Quote 15. But in his jacket pocket is a chocolate bar, forgotten from this morning. Alex tears the wrapper with his teeth, bites down. Sweetness explodes with energy. The convulsion releases. The sand vanishes. 3 myths broken in an hour. Alex sits on the dirty floor, clutching the scroll. 30 myths ahead. Rain drums on the roof. Flashlights flicker outside the window. Masks searching the neighborhood. Must keep moving. The 4th myth about eggs and cholesterol already waits. But where to run? Who to trust? The scroll warms in his hands, pointing north. Alex stands, exits through the back door into the night. Alex trudges through the night city, soaked to the bone, scroll hidden under his jacket. Streets are empty, only occasional cars rush past. Where to go? Hotel. Dangerous. They'll track him by documents. Friends? Mark, a biochemist from the university, lives 2 blocks away. Alex dials the number with trembling fingers. Mark, it's me. Can I crash at your place? Complicated situation. Pause. Come, I'll open the door. 20 minutes later, Alex enters a warm apartment on the 5th floor. Mark greets him in a robe. The kitchen smells of frying. Hungry. Making scrambled eggs. 4 eggs. Alex winces. Are you serious? Cholesterol through the roof. Doctors forbid more than 2 eggs a week. Mark smirks. Old myth. Sit, eat, then tell me about the trouble. The scroll in the bag heats up. The 4th myth appears on its own. Myth 4. Eggs harm the heart due to cholesterol in the yolk. Alex reads aloud. A lie from the 1960s, based on experiments on herbivorous rabbits. Dietary cholesterol doesn't raise blood cholesterol. The liver regulates balance itself. The yolk contains choline for the brain, lutein for the eyes, omega-3 for blood vessels. 3 to 5 eggs daily are safe. I ate 5 boiled eggs every morning. 102 years of clean arteries. Mark nods, pushing the plate forward. See? Eat. Alex hesitates, but hunger wins. First bite. Explosion of satiety. Strength flows into his body. No hallucination comes. The myth broken by accepting truth. He finishes quickly. Mark pours coffee. What happened? Why are you soaked? Alex begins telling about his grandfather, the scroll, the masks. Mark listens attentively, too attentively. His eyes gleam strangely. Show me the scroll. Alex carefully pulls out the parchment. The 5th myth already burns on the page. Myth 5. Fatty food kills faster than any poison. Corporate lie demonizing healthy fats to sell low-fat products, Alex reads. Avocado, nuts, olive oil, fatty fish protect the heart, feed the brain. The enemy is trans fats from margarine and fast food, not natural fat. Mediterranean diet with oil by the litre. Cretan centenarians live to 100. I fried in ghee my whole life. Mark extends his hand. Let me look closer. Alex hands over the scroll, but at that moment sees a syringe and ampule on the table. What's that? Mark sighs, removes his glasses. Sorry, Alex. I was offered €1 million for the scroll a week ago. Longevity Consortium. I couldn't refuse. The mortgage is crushing me. Betrayal strikes like a blow to the chest. Mark reaches for the syringe, but the scroll blazes in his hands with blinding fire. Mark screams, drops the parchment, his hand covered in burns. It protects its owner! Alex roars, grabs the scroll, rushes to the window. Jump onto the fire escape. Metal crashes down the rusty steps. Below, they're already waiting. Black van, masks running out. Alex turns into an alley, weaves between dumpsters, bursts onto the avenue, catches a taxi on the move, dives inside. Quote 31. The driver eyes him suspiciously, but accelerates. In the rearview mirror, the van tries to follow but gets lost in traffic. Alex leans back in the seat, trembling. 5 myths in 3 hours. Mark betrayed for money. Who else can he trust? The scroll warm in his hands. 6th and 7th myths already appearing. About breakfast and cardio. The station ahead. From there he can leave for another city. But the consortium is everywhere, grandfather wrote about this. The only way, forward, through all 33 myths. Only then will truth become a weapon. The station buzzes with crowds. Announcements echo under the dome. Alex buys a ticket for the first morning train to a coastal town. 4 hours until departure. He hides in a 24-hour cafe on the 2nd floor. Orders steak with potatoes. The waitress is surprised. Quote 32. Alex is silent, waits for his order. The scroll on his lap under the table unfolds itself. The 6th myth pulses with orange letters. Myth 6. Breakfast is the most important meal. Without it, metabolism dies. Quote 33. Alex reads to himself. Quote 34. The steak arrives steaming, juice running down the plate. Alex bites into the meat hungrily. First normal meal in 24 hours. Energy explodes in his body, mind clears. No hallucination. The myth about dinner broken by the fact of satiety. He finishes in 10 minutes, feels strength in his muscles. The 7th myth already burns on the scroll. Myth 7. Daily running is the key to long life and youth. Quote 35. The text is clear, angry. Quote 36. Alex remembers his morning runs on asphalt, knee pain after 10 kilometers. Blamed it on adaptation, endured. Another myth, stealing health. He massages his knees under the table. They ache from today's run through the city. 2 men in black suits enter the cafe, dark glasses even at night. They scan the room with their gaze. Consortium. Alex ducks behind the menu, watches from the corner of his eye. The strangers approach the counter, show the bartender a photo on their phone. The bartender shakes his head. They head to the escalator down. Alex waits 5 minutes, pays cash, exits through the service entrance. The corridor leads to the station's technical rooms, from there to the underground passage to the metro. The station is closed at night, but the turnstiles can be jumped. He descends the motionless escalator, absolute darkness below. His phone's flashlight illuminates the path. Battery 20%. The platform is empty. Rails disappear into a black tunnel. Alex sits on a bench, takes out the scroll. 7 myths broken in 5 hours. 26 ahead. His body demands sleep. Eyes stick together. But every time he starts to doze, hallucination attacks. Shadows crawl on walls. Voices whisper, "Give the scroll. Stop suffering." He shakes himself, drinks water from the vending machine. The 8th myth about vaccines appears on the parchment in green letters. But reading now is dangerous, activating the curse without ability to fight. Need to wait for dawn, find a safe place. Alex hides the scroll, lies down on the bench, falls into an anxious sleep. He dreams of masks, syringes, endless pursuit. Somewhere above the consortium combs the station. Time ticks. Alex wakes from a roar. The first metro train bursts onto the platform at 5 in the morning. The driver leans out of the cabin. "Hey, how did you get here? The station is closed at night." Alex grabs his bag, runs to the car, jumps in before the doors close. The cabin is empty, only 2 homeless people dozing on seats. The train starts, dives into the tunnel. 3 stops to the center, from there on foot to the old park. Grandfather mentioned in his letter a safe place, an abandoned greenhouse on the park's edge, where he hid in the 90s. Alex exits at the station, climbs to the street. Dawn paints the sky pink. The city awakens. He walks fast, avoiding cameras, hides his face in his hood. The greenhouse behind a high fence, glass dome cracked, inside a jungle of wild plants. The door is locked, but a window is broken. Alex crawls inside, scratches his hand on a shard. Between palms and vines, he finds an old cot, thermos, sleeping bag. Grandfather prepared a shelter. On a crate lies a note. Quote, quote, quote. Alex sits on the cot, takes out the scroll. Quote, quote, quote. The 8th myth flares in red ink. Myth 8. Vaccines cause autism and destroy natural immunity. Quote 40. Alex reads aloud. Quote 41. Alex's body is pierced by fever, temperature soars instantly. Hallucination, skin covered with ulcers, hands tremble from paralysis. Voice whispers, "Refuse vaccinations, save the children." But Alex remembers photos from history textbooks. Children in iron lungs, faces disfigured by smallpox. He clutches the scroll, shouts, "Vaccines save!" The fever subsides, ulcers disappear. 8th myth broken. The 9th appears immediately, in golden letters. Myth 9. Vitamins from bottles extend years, the more the better. Pharmaceutical deception worth $200 billion annually. The text is harsh. Synthetic multivitamins are not absorbed like natural ones from food. Overdose of fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, K causes poisoning, kidney stones. A study of 38,000 women showed those who took multivitamins for 10 years died 4% earlier. Vitamins are needed only with proven deficiency. Blood test, doctor's prescription. I ate vegetables from the garden, liver once a week. 0 pills, all vitamins from food. 102 years. Alex remembers his shelf with jars. Vitamin C, D, B group. Multivitamin complex for athletes. Swallowed handfuls every morning, spent hundreds of euros monthly. No hallucination comes. He already understood the deception. Rage overwhelms in a wave. How much money wasted? How many years of life stolen by myth? Outside the greenhouse window, a branch crunched. Alex freezes, hides the scroll. Through palm leaves, he sees a figure in a black cloak. Not a mask, a woman. She carefully enters through the broken window, looks around. "Alex, I know you're here." A low, familiar voice. "The scroll led me. I'm not an enemy." He recognizes Eva, former colleague from the genetics lab, quit a year ago after a scandal. "Eva, how did you find me?" She approaches closer, takes a folded sheet from her pocket. "Your grandfather sent me a copy of One Page 3 months ago. Wanted to hedge his bets. He knew he would die." Alex hesitates. To believe or not? After Mark, trust is dead. Ava holds out the sheet. Alex recognizes grandfather's handwriting. Myth 22 about brain fasting. Quote 50. The voice is cold. Ava lowers her eyes. Quote 51. Alex studies her face, bruises under her eyes, hands tremble. She's frightened, but her eyes are honest. "Show the scroll," Eva asks. "I want to make sure it's real." Alex carefully takes out the parchment, unfolds the 10th page. Letters flare with golden light. Dawn breaks through cracks in the dome. Myth 10. The sun is an enemy of skin and life. Ultraviolet kills. Hide in shade. Distorted truth turned into a $50 billion cream business annually, Alex reads aloud for Eva. Excess ultraviolet is dangerous, but moderate sun is vitally necessary. 15 to 30 minutes without cream produces daily vitamin D norm, which protects against depression, osteoporosis, colon cancer, diabetes. Vitamin D deficiency kills more people than melanoma. The sun regulates circadian rhythms, improves sleep, lowers blood pressure. I worked in the garden under the sun 3 hours daily, tanned skin, strong bones until 102 years. Eva approaches the window, exposes her face to morning light. I hid from the sun for 3 years, smeared myself with SPF 50 cream even in winter. Analysis showed critical vitamin D deficiency, 11 nanograms with a norm of 30. Depression, bone pain. Started going out in the sun. In 2 months the level rose. Symptoms disappeared. Alex looks at his pale hands. He too avoided the sun for years, feared skin aging. The scroll pulses warmer. The 11th myth appears in red ink. Myth 11. Constant stress always kills. Avoid worries at any cost. Dangerous half-truth ignoring hormesis. The principle of beneficial stress. The text is sharp. Chronic uncontrolled stress destroys health, but short-term acute stress trains the body, strengthens immunity. Cold shower, intense workout, public speaking, fasting, beneficial stress extending life. Studies on worms and mice showed individuals subjected to moderate stress lived 40% longer. Complete absence of stress leads to degradation. I survived war, hunger, loss of family, used stress as fuel, hardened myself with ice water, worked to exhaustion. Stress made me indestructible. Eva takes a syringe and 3 ampules with blue liquid from her backpack. Alex recoils. Betrayal again? She raises her hands. Calm down. This is an adaptogen, rhodiola and eleutherococcus extract. Lowers cortisol, increases stress resistance. I inject myself once a week, doctor's prescription. You need protection now. Alex hesitates, but logic convinces. The stress of recent hours is off the charts. He nods. Eva wipes his shoulder with alcohol, inserts the needle. The injection is almost painless. Coolness spreads through veins. In a minute, the fog in his head clears. Breathing evens out. Hands stop trembling. Outside the greenhouse window comes the screech of metal. Masks found the shelter. How? Eva pales. Alex presses the scroll to his chest. The parchment radiates heat, visible in the infrared range. They tracked it like a beacon. Run! Eva gasps. Through the underground passage under the ficus. The glass dome shatters. Ropes fall from above. They dive into a hatch. Stairs lead into darkness. 11 myths behind, 22 ahead. The tunnel under the greenhouse is narrow, walls covered with moss, smells of earth and mold. Alex and Eva run bent over. Phone flashlight illuminates the path with weak light. Behind them, a roar. Masks breaking the hatch. Screams multiply in echo. 100 meters to the sewer collector, Eva gasps. From there to the old town. The scroll under Alex's jacket pulses with heat, demanding continuation. They burst into a round hall with brick vaults, an ancient pumping station from the 19th century. In the middle of the hall, a rusty mechanism, huge gears frozen forever. Eva pushes an iron door, jammed. Quote, 66. Alex leans his shoulder, metal creaks, gives way. They fall into the next corridor, the door slams shut, Eva slides the bolt. Quote, 67. Alex sinks to the floor, takes out the scroll. The 12th myth unfolds itself, letters burn with greenish light in the darkness. Myth 12. Alcohol in small doses is beneficial for the heart and extends life. Quote, 68. Alex reads in a whisper. Quote, 69. Eva hugs her knees. Quote, 70. Alex remembers corporate parties, confidence in the harmlessness of moderate doses. Another myth poisoning for years. The 13th myth flares in crimson ink. Myth 13. Sex extends life. The more the healthier and younger. Quote, 71. Alex's voice sounds firmer. Sex in loving relationships reduces stress, improves immunity, releases oxytocin and endorphins. But promiscuous connections increase the risk of infections, inflammation, depression. A study of 10,000 couples over 30 years showed centenarians had 1 to 2 partners in life, intimacy 2 to 3 times a week, strong emotional bonds. Frequency doesn't matter, stability and trust matter. Loneliness kills faster than absence of sex. Isolation shortens life by 7 years. Grandfather lived with grandmother for 58 years. After her death, didn't seek new relationships, but maintained close friendship. Social connections replaced romantic ones. Ava smirks. Glossy magazines write about sex as a panacea. I tried. More partners, less happiness. Now alone, but surrounded by friends. Health is better than during years of active personal life. Alex nods silently. His last relationship collapsed because of work, after, emptiness and loneliness. A blow to the iron door interrupts reflections. Masks ram the entrance. Let's go, Eva jumps up. Ahead is a fork, left to the river, right to the catacombs. The scroll trembles, pointing right. Cemetery. He knows the way. They run along a narrow passage, walls narrow. Behind them a roar, the door collapsed. Ahead is a staircase up, wooden, rotten. Steps crack. Alex grabs the railing. They crumble. Eva pushes from below. He climbs, crawls into a crypt. 13 myths broken, 20 ahead. The crypt is filled with dead silence, marble sarcophagi covered with cobwebs. Moonlight breaks through stained glass windows. Alex presses his back against cold stone. Eva stands at the window, peering into the twilight. What do you see? She presses a finger to her lips. Beyond the glass silhouettes glide, not masks, something smaller, faster, bestial. Where did a pack come from in the city cemetery? The scroll in Alex's hands pulses demandingly. He unfolds the parchment. The 14th myth appears in blue ink. Myth 14. 8 hours of sleep is mandatory for everyone. Otherwise, health collapses. Quote 78. Alex reads in a low voice. Quote 79. Eva turns. Quote 80. Alex remembers attempts to sleep strictly 8 hours, feeling of lethargy. Maybe his body asked for less. The 15th myth unfolds sharply, letters blood red. Myth 15. Meat shortens life. Vegetarianism is the path to longevity. Quote 81. Alex's voice strengthens. Quality meat is a source of essential amino acids, vitamin B12, iron, zinc, creatine for brain and muscles. The problem is in processed products, sausages with nitrites. Grass-fed red meat 2 to 3 times a week is safe and beneficial. Study of Adventists showed pesco-vegetarians with fish lived longer than vegans. Okinawa centenarians ate pork regularly in small portions. Complete rejection of meat leads to B12 deficiency, anemia, loss of muscle mass, cognitive impairment. I ate chicken, beef, lamb 3 times a week, always homemade meat. 102 years of strong muscles and sharp mind. Eva nods. I was vegan for 2 years, considered myself healthy. Started hair loss, chronic fatigue, brain fog. Analysis, B12 at the lower limit, ferritin critical. Returned fish and eggs, recovered in 6 months. Ethics is important, but health is more important. Suddenly the stained glass shatters with a deafening crash. A figure in an expensive suit jumps through the opening. Grey hair, haggard face, gun in hand. The scroll, immediately, voice hoarse, British accent. Alex and Eva freeze. The stranger steps closer, barrel pointed at Alex's chest. Quote 85. Alex presses the parchment to his chest. Quote 86. Graham smirks. Quote 87. Eva steps forward. Quote 88. Graham shakes his head. Quote 89. His finger on the trigger tenses. The scroll in Alex's hands flares with blinding fire. It protects! Alex shouts, throws the parchment into the air. The scroll unfolds in flight, flares with white flame. Graham screams, the shot goes into the ceiling, stones crumble. Run! They break through the door, run out to the cemetery. Tombstones stick out of the ground. Fog spreads low. Graham yells into the radio, "Activate Omega Protocol." The scroll flies into Alex's hands on its own. Ahead is a fork. Right exit to the city. Left old church. The scroll pulls left. Shots behind. They run left, into the fog. The old church towers in the fog, spire tilted, walls covered with ivy. Alex and Eva burst through a broken door, inside darkness and smell of dampness. Graham's shots echo outside, bullets bite into stone. "There should be shelter here," Eva gasps. "Basement, catacombs." Alex raises the scroll. The parchment glows with golden radiance, pointing to the altar. Behind the altar, a narrow staircase down, steps worn by centuries. They descend. The church door above opens with a crash. Graham and guards burst in. "Down! Dead or alive!" Alex and Eva find themselves in a crypt. Along the walls, niches with ancient bones. In the middle, a stone table. On it, an old book. Alex opens. Grandfather's diary. Last entries 3 months ago. Quote 96. Alex reads aloud. The scroll unfolds synchronously with the diary. Letters overlay each other. Myth 16. Plant-based diet is a guaranteed path to 100 years. Quote 97. Alex's voice fills with strength. Plants are useful, fiber, antioxidants are necessary, but complete rejection of animal products creates risks of B12 deficiency, essential amino acids, omega-3, EPA and DHA, heme iron, zinc, vitamin A in active form. Study of 70,000 Adventists showed pesco-vegetarians with fish lived longer than strict vegans by 2 years. All blue zones of centenarians, Okinawa, Sardinia, Ikaria, include animal products in small portions. Okinawans eat pork and fish, Sardinians, cheese and lamb, Ikarians, goat milk and eggs. 0 vegan centenarians in historical records. I ate vegetables by the bucket, but added meat, fish, eggs, milk, balance, 102 years without fanaticism. Ava leans against the wall. Finally, common sense. Balance is the key. The scroll turns. The 17th myth flares crimson. Myth 17. Cholesterol is a deadly enemy. Lower it at any cost. Monstrous lie of the statin pharmaceutical industry worth 100 billion annually. Alex reads faster. Cholesterol is a vital molecule, building material of cell membranes, basis of sex hormones, vitamin D, bile acids. The brain contains 25% of all body cholesterol. Without it, neurons die. Low cholesterol below 150 is associated with depression, aggression, suicide, cancer. The real enemy is oxidized cholesterol in small-sized LDL particles, caused by inflammation, sugar, trans fats. Study of 90,000 people over 60 showed those whose cholesterol was above 240 lived longer. Statins don't extend life for healthy people. Side effects: muscle destruction, diabetes, cognitive impairment. I never took statins. Cholesterol stayed at 230. 0 heart attacks. 102 years. Eva grabs Alex's shoulder. Quote 102. Steps on the stairs. Graham descends. Behind him, 4 guards. Quote 103. Eva shields Alex. Quote 104. Graham shakes his head. Quote 105. Guards raise their barrels. The stone table shudders, crack across the floor. From under the slabs bursts steam smelling of sulfur. The scroll flares, grandfather's voice from nowhere. Protection activated. The crypt is my last line. The floor collapses under the guards. They fall into darkness with screams. Graham clings to the edge. Eva kicks his hand. He falls with a howl. Alex and Eva on a narrow ledge by the wall. Grandfather knew, Alex whispers. The diary, last entry. The 18th myth is in the church spire, where dawn meets darkness. Eva points to a passage in the wall. There, to the spire. They squeeze into the tunnel. The dungeon collapses. 17 myths revealed, 16 ahead. The tunnel leads up in a spiral, walls narrow, air colder. Alex and Eva climb stone steps worn smooth. Eva's flashlight flickers, battery dying, darkness approaches. Quote 110, she encourages. Quote 111. Alex grabs ledges, the scroll warms like a living being. 100 steps, 200, 300, legs burn, breath tears. They crawl into a narrow room under the spire. Through cracks in the boards, dawn breaks, sky turns pink, stars fade. In the middle of the room, a wooden table, kerosene lamp, envelope with inscription, quote 112, quote hands tremble when he opens, letter from grandfather, written 2 weeks before death. Quote 113. Alex lights the lamp, flame illuminates the room. The scroll unfolds itself, the 18th myth appears in black ink. Myth 18. Morning running is the path to eternal youth and health. Quote 114. Alex reads aloud. Quote 115. Eva massages her knees. Quote 116. Alex remembers his morning runs on asphalt, knee pain blamed on adaptation. The 19th myth flares in green letters. Myth 19. Antidepressants are the key to happiness and long years. Alex's voice is full of anger. SSRI class antidepressants work no better than placebo in 80% of patients with mild to moderate depression, proven by meta-analysis of 340 studies. Serotonin theory of depression debunked in 2022 by large-scale review. Drugs cause addiction, withdrawal syndrome worse than heroin, side effects, emotional blunting, sexual dysfunction, weight gain, suicidal thoughts in young people. Real methods: physical activity more effective than pills by 30%, cognitive behavioral therapy, sunlight, omega-3, social connections, meaning of life. Antidepressants needed only for severe clinical depression in short courses, not lifelong. I survived war, loss of loved ones, hunger, never took psychotropics, coped with work, nature, faith in meaning, 102 years without mood pills. Eva covers her face. They prescribed me escitalopram after divorce, took it for 2 years, turned into a zombie, no joy, no sorrow. Gained 20 kilograms, libido died. Cancelled myself, withdrawal syndrome 3 months, like withdrawal. Started running, found psychotherapist, got a dog. Depression left in 6 months, without pills. From under the floor, a roar, Graham breaking through. You're dead. The consortium doesn't forgive. Alex looks out the window. Dawn flares, city far away. Nowhere to run, spire is dead end. Eva knocks on walls, one section empty. Board gives way, behind it a narrow balcony outside, encircling the spire. Wind whistles, height 50 meters. Down the roof, Eva says. Risk it. The scroll pulses agreement. 19 myths behind, 14 ahead. Alex and Eva slide down the church roof. Tiles crumble under their feet. Shards fly down. Roof edge approaches. Jump to stone cornice. From there to cemetery fence wall. 3 meters down. Alex jumps first. Lands poorly. Ankle explodes with pain. Eva lands nearby. Grabs him under the arm. Endure. Police coming here. They limp between tombstones to the far exit, but the path is blocked by 2 policemen with flashlights. Stop! Hands up! Alex and Eva freeze, but the scroll under the jacket explodes with heat. Policemen cry out, grab their eyes, blinding flash. Run! Eva drags Alex through a breach in the fence. They burst onto the street, dive into an alley. Shelter, basement of abandoned bakery, Eva knew from childhood. They descend creaky steps. Inside smells of old dough and mold. Alex sits on a sack of flour, leg pulsing. Eva examines, swelling, but no fracture. You'll survive. Rest 10 minutes. The scroll unfolds on Alex's lap. The 20th myth burns with yellow letters. Myth 20. Gluten is dangerous for all people. Gluten-free diet is the path to health. Quote 128. Alex reads. Quote 129. Eva takes crackers from her backpack. Quote 130. He takes, chews, taste reminds of childhood. Quote 131. The scroll turns. 21st myth flares in green ink. Myth 21. Detox teas and programs cleanse the body of toxins and extend life. Quote 132. Alex reads with indignation. Quote 133. Eva shakes her head. Quote 134. Sound of sirens outside. Police surrounded the block. Loudspeaker demands to come out. Eva looks in the window. Quote 135. Alex examines the basement. In the corner, a hatch, rusty cover. Quote 136. Eva nods. Quote 137. The scroll warms, pointing to the hatch. Quote 138. They open the hatch. Stench hits. Feces. Rot. Methane. Ladder down slippery. Iron steps rusted. They descend into a dark tunnel. Water to ankles. Rats rustle. Above a roar. Police breaking in. Quote 139. 21 myths behind. 12 ahead. The tunnel narrows. Water rises to knees. Cold pierces to the bone. Alex and Ava wade along the current. Phone flashlight flickers with last light. Battery 5%. Behind them, dog barking echoes in pipes. Police descended with bloodhounds. Quote 140. Ava gasps. Quote 141. They grab rusty bars, pull, grate doesn't give. Barking closer, flashlights illuminate tunnel behind. The scroll in Alex's hands flares with blinding fire. Metal heats red hot, bars melt, opening appears. They tumble onto the riverbank, dirty, soaked. Full dawn, city buzzes. Nearby a market opens, vendors lay out goods. Alex and Ava buy dry clothes in a thrift shop for last money, change in cafe bathroom, order coffee and buns, sit in far corner. The scroll under the table unfolds itself. 22nd myth appears in violet ink. Myth 22. The brain works better on an empty stomach. Fasting improves intellect forever. Quote 142. Alex reads in a whisper to Ava. Quote 143. Ava bites into a bun. Quote 144. The scroll trembles. 23rd myth flares in golden letters with red edges. Myth 23. Yoga is a universal means of longevity, suitable for absolutely everyone. Quote 145. Alex's voice is firmer after eating. Yoga is beneficial for flexibility, balance, stress reduction, mindfulness. This is proven by hundreds of studies. But aggressive practice without proper instruction leads to injuries, ligament tears, disc hernias, shoulder, knee damage. Some poses are dangerous for osteoporosis, hypertension, glaucoma. Headstand increases intracranial pressure, can cause stroke. Hot yoga at 40 degrees dehydrates, overloads heart, fatal cases recorded. Yoga doesn't replace strength training for bones and muscles, doesn't provide cardio load. Effective in combination with other forms of activity. Study of 20,000 practitioners showed 21% received injuries over 5 years. I stretched in mornings 10 minutes, simple bends and twists, but never stood on my head and didn't twist into knots. 102 years of flexibility without injuries. Functional stretching instead of extreme asanas. Eva winces, massages lower back. I went to Bikram yoga for 6 months. Instructor demanded deeper, further. Tore my lower back in plow pose. 3 months recovery, still hurts with loads. Quit yoga, switched to Pilates, softer, safer. 2 men in black suits enter the cafe, dark glasses, scan the room. Consortium or police? Alex and Eva freeze, hide scroll. Strangers order coffee to go, don't pay attention. But outside a black van without plates, engine running. Quote 148. Ava whispers. Quote 149. 23 myths behind, 10 ahead. Finale close. Alex looks at city map on phone. Battery 3%. Quote 150. Eva takes a napkin, writes a note to waiter. Quote 151. Waiter, guy with piercing, reads, grins, nods. Approaches strangers, whispers. They run outside to check. Alex and Eva rush to kitchen, cooks in shock. They rush past stoves, burst into backyard. Narrow street, dumpsters, smell of fried oil. Run right, turn into alley, then another. Stop in arch of old building, breath tears lungs. Quote, 152. Alex gasps. Quote, 153. Eva looks at sky, sun at zenith. Quote, 154. Alex unfolds the parchment. 24th myth appears in blue ink with silver tint. Myth 24. Omega-3 fatty acids from supplements extend life and protect the heart. Quote, 155. Alex reads silently with lips. Eva leans closer. Quote, 156. Eva nods. Quote, 157. The scroll turns itself. 25th myth flares in brown and green letters. Myth 25. Fiber is an absolute shield from all intestinal diseases and cancer. Quote, 158. Alex reads on slowly. Quote, 159. Eva frowns. Quote, 160. Sirens wail in distance, approaching. Alex looks around. Nearby library, massive building, wide steps. Quote, 161. They run inside, high ceilings, rows of shelves, silence. Occupy table by window, hide scroll under open book. 25 myths behind, 8 ahead. Finale closer. The library is quiet. Students bent over books. Retirees read newspapers. Alex and Eva sit by window with view of entrance. The scroll under open book glows barely noticeably. 26th myth appears in silver ink. Myth 26. Meditation stops aging and grants immortality. Quote, 162. Alex reads silently. Eva follows text with eyes. Quote, 163. Eva whispers. Quote, 164. The scroll trembles. 27th myth flares in green ink, color of tea leaves or deception. Myth 27. Green tea is an elixir of immortality and youth. Quote, 165. The text is clear. Quote, 166. Eva nods. Quote, 167. 3 men in black suits enter the library, scan the room. Consortium found them. Alex and Eva duck, hide scroll. Quote, 168. Eva whispers, pointing to door. Quote, 169. Strangers approach librarian, show photo. Librarian points in their direction. Quote, 170. They jump up, books fall, chairs overturn, visitors jump up. Burst through archive door, long corridor, shelves with old folders. Run to the end, door locked. Consortium in corridor, steps thunder. Scroll explodes with heat. Door in front of them flares, lock melts. Kick out, tumble into utility room, from there to backyard. Fence 2 meters high. Alex boosts Eva. She climbs over, he jumps after. Landing on other side. Narrow alley, truck with produce unloading. Quote, 171. They dive into open van, burrow into boxes with vegetables. Driver slams door, not noticing. Engine starts, truck moves. 27 myths behind, 6 ahead. Finale, very close. The truck drives through city, sways on turns. Alex and Eva lie among cabbage and potatoes. Breathe heavily. Quote, 172. Eva whispers. Quote, 173. Alex nods, but scroll in hands doesn't give peace. 28th myth glows on next page. Letters appear in white ink. Myth 28. Protein harms kidneys. Protein diets kill. Fitness lie based on distorted studies of sick kidneys, Alex reads in whisper. In healthy people, high protein consumption doesn't damage kidneys, proven by meta-analysis of 130 studies. Kidneys adapt to protein load without problems. Protein is necessary for muscles, bones, immunity, hormones, enzymes. Recommendation: 0.8 grams per kilogram of weight is understated. Optimum for active people and elderly 1.2 to 2 grams per kilogram to preserve muscle mass and prevent sarcopenia. Study of 10,000 people over 65 showed those who ate more protein lived longer, preserved muscles, fell less, broke fewer bones. Problem only in people with existing kidney diseases. They need restriction under doctor's supervision. I ate protein every meal: eggs, meat, fish, cottage cheese, legumes. 102 years of strong muscles and healthy kidneys. 2 grams per kilogram without fear. Eva massages temples. I feared protein for 3 years, limited to 50 grams a day, listened to dietitians about kidneys, started losing muscle mass, weakness, hair became brittle, increased protein to 120 grams, recovered in 6 months, kidney tests perfect. Protein is not the enemy. The truck stops abruptly, rear doors open. Driver looks at them in shock. Who are you? How did you get here? Alex and Eva jump out of truck bed, find themselves at market, crowd, stalls with vegetables and fish. Driver shouts, but they dissolve in crowd. Scroll under jacket pulses, 29th myth demands attention. They hide behind flower stall, Alex unfolds parchment. Letters flare in blue ink, cold as ice. Myth. 29. Cold shower rejuvenates body and grants immortality. Extreme half-truth ignoring risks and contraindications. Text is harsh. Short-term cold exposure indeed activates brown fat, improves circulation, strengthens immunity, raises norepinephrine and dopamine levels, improves mood. 30 seconds to 2 minutes of cold shower after warm. Beneficial stress, hormesis. Studies showed 30% improvement in immune response in those who regularly took cold shower. But prolonged hypothermia is dangerous. Hypothermia, shock, heart arrhythmia, stroke in people with cardiovascular diseases. Sudden cold without adaptation can cause vascular spasm, cardiac arrest. Contraindicated for hypertension, heart disease, pregnancy. Cold shower doesn't magically rejuvenate, doesn't stop aging, but trains adaptation. I doused myself with cold water 30 seconds every morning after warm shower, gradually adapted, started with cool. 102 years without colds. Moderate hardening, not extreme. Eva nods. I tried ice baths for 20 minutes, read about Wim Hof. On 3rd time arrhythmia started, heartbeat chaotically, got scared, called ambulance. Doctor said, heart overload. I had hidden arrhythmia. Banned cold baths, allowed short cold shower 30 seconds. Now do carefully. Police cars enter the market. Megaphone demands disperse. Crowd panics. Vendors close stalls. Alex and Eva run to exit, merge with crowd of buyers. Metro ahead, they descend, jump into car before doors close. Train carries them away from pursuit. 29 myths behind, 4 ahead. Scroll in Alex's hands warms stronger. Final myths will be most dangerous. The metro train rushes in tunnel, car half empty. Evening time, people returning home. Alex and Eva sit in back seats, trying not to attract attention. Scroll under jacket pulses insistently. 30th myth appears on its own. Letters dark blue, almost black. Myth. 30. Sleeping on left side extends life and improves heart health. Quote, 181. Alex reads to himself. Eva leans closer. Quote, 182. Eva smirks. Quote, 183. Train stops at station. Doors open. 4 men in black suits step onto platform. Scan cars. Consortium. Quote, 184. Alex whispers. Quote, 185. Doors close. Train starts. Scroll unfolds further. 31st myth flares in golden letters. Myth. 31. Reading books extends life by years. Quote, 186. Text is sharp. Quote, 187. Eva nods thoughtfully. Quote, 188. Train arrives at station. They jump out. Run to transfer to another line. Behind them shouts. Consortium spotted them. Escalator down. Crowd hinders running. Alex and Eva squeeze through. Descend. Ahead another platform. Train stands with open doors. Last seconds. They jump in. Doors close in front of pursuers' noses. Train carries them into tunnel darkness. 31 myths behind, 2 ahead. Scroll in Alex's hands burns with heat. Finale inevitable. Train takes them to city outskirts. Stations flash one after another. Fewer passengers. Car empties. Alex looks out window. Beyond glass tunnel darkness, occasional flashes of technical room lights. Eva asks. Alex takes out scroll, parchment warm, points direction of terminal station. Quote 190. Terminal station turns out to be abandoned industrial zone. Old factories, rusty cranes, broken windows. They exit metro, not a soul around. Wind whistles between buildings. Moon illuminates deserted streets. Scroll tears from Alex's hands, flies forward, stops at entrance to largest building. Former machine building plant. Doors open wide. Trap, Eva whispers. Consortium could prepare ambush. Alex nods, but no choice. 30-second myth waits there. They enter inside. Huge workshop, ceilings 20 meters high, equipment covered with rust. In middle of workshop burns bonfire. Around stand figures in masks. Not 10, not 20, whole 100. In center on metal throne sits Dr. Graham, alive, face burned, but eyes burn with fury. Welcome to finale, Graham's voice echoes through workshop. Quote 195. Masks close circle, no exit. Alex presses scroll to chest. Quote 196. Graham stands from throne, takes out gun. Quote 197. He nods to guard, who turns on projector. Text projects onto workshop wall, huge letters. Myth 32. Optimism adds years to life. Positive thinking cures diseases. Alex reads aloud, voice trembles. Quote 198. Graham smirks. Quote 1999. Alex shakes his head. Quote 200. Eva steps forward. Quote 201. Graham pales. Quote 202. Quote, he raises gun, aims at Alex. Quote 203. Quote, scroll in Alex's hands flares with blinding white flame. Heat burns palms, but he doesn't let go. From parchment bursts wave of light, knocks Graham off feet. Masks fly like chips. Eva shouts. Quote 204. Alex unfolds last page. Letters burn with red fire. Finale begins. Alex reads aloud last myth. Voice thunders through workshop. Echo multiplies in metal structures. Myth 33. Genetics determines destiny. Longevity is encoded in DNA at birth. Quote 205. Text blazes on parchment. Quote 206. Scroll explodes with blinding light. Letters tear from parchment, swirl in air. 33 myths transform into fiery symbols, surround Alex. Graham shouts, quote 207, quote, but masks don't move, paralyzed by light. From vortex of letters materializes figure. Grandfather's ghost, glowing, translucent. Voice sounds from nowhere. Quote 208. Quote, Alex falls to knees. World collapses. Quote 209. Quote, grandfather's ghost nods. Yes, but I chose different path. Destroyed their control, lived by my rules, created scroll as antidote to their lies. Genetics is just tool. Your choice. Continue their experiment or become free. 33 myths are keys to freedom from any program, genetic or social. Graham rises from the floor, face contorted. He speaks half-truths. Yes, the experiment exists, but we gave you a chance at longevity. Without us, you would have died like everyone else. Grandfather's ghost smirks. Quote 212. The light around Alex intensifies. He feels his body changing, cells renewing, energy surging in his veins. The scroll dissolves in his hands, knowledge of the 33 myths imprinting in his memory forever. Quote 213, he shouts. Grandfather's ghost smiles. You're becoming free. The consortium's genetic program is being rewritten by your choice. You will live as long as you yourself choose. Not genes, not corporations, but you. Eva runs up, embraces Alex. I was also in the experiment, number 84. That's why your grandfather contacted me. We're free now. Graham shoots, but bullets pass through them. The scroll's light created a protective cocoon. Masks scatter, the consortium crumbles. Grandfather's ghost dissolves with final words. Live by truth. Teach others. The 33 myths are your legacy. The light fades. Alex and Eva stand in the middle of the empty workshop. dawn breaking through shattered windows. Graham has vanished, masks fled. On the floor, ash, all that remains of the scroll. But the knowledge lives in them. Alex looks at Eva. What now? She smiles. Now we tell the world. The 33 myths must become free. They exit the factory, the sun rising over the city. New day, new life, freedom from lies. But in Alex's jacket pocket, his phone vibrates. Message from unknown number, quote, 219. Quote, Alex shows the screen to Eva. She nods decisively, quote, 220. Quote, they walk toward the horizon where the sun promises a new dawn. 33 myths broken. How many more are hidden? How many people live imprisoned by lies? And are you ready to destroy your own myths? The answer is inside you. It always was. This story revealed 33 myths about health and longevity. But how many more false beliefs control your life? Subscribe to the channel to learn the truth about myths that surround us every day. Each video, a new exposé, new knowledge, a new step toward freedom from deception. Like if this story made you think. Write in the comments which of the 33 myths surprised you most. Turn on the bell so you don't miss the next stories about facts that will change your view of the world. Remember, genetics isn't destiny. Myths aren't truth. The choice is always yours. See you in the next story. Live by truth.